What's going on, guys? It's Nick from Mindful Mastery, and today I'm here to talk about my diet experiment. I've now completed the third week of the intermittent fasting portion with paleo, and last week I had said that I didn't think much would change from week to week, and I guess technically not that much did, but in short, mistakes were made. So last week I had cheated one time with the donuts and then rice and noodles from Panda Express, but it did start to feel better and the cravings were going away, or at least the cravings for cheating were going away. And literally right after I recorded the video for last week, the next day I started getting those cravings again. And so me and my roommates, we went out and we had an eating competition at CC's, which is just all cheating. And then that's pretty much all that was my one meal that day. And then the next time I cheated was actually, or next time, not next time, I only cheated twice. The other time that I cheated was probably 2 days ago. At first I was eating and I had eaten a good amount of not cheating though, but I was still super hungry. And then I started craving sweets, so I ate some of my roommate's candy and to try and satisfy it. And then I went and got a scoop of ice cream, and neither of those satisfied it. So then I went and got some candy. I had Snickers and Mike and Ike's. And I mean, technically that day was better because I still had like half of the amount from just, or probably more than half. I had most from the normal meals that I would eat, but then I just had the sweets, which it feels worse than the pizza, but I don't know. Either way, the cravings had came back. But something that I had learned through this experience is that you shouldn't give in to those cravings because it just makes it easier the next time to give in to them again. And also my willpower has kind of been decreased in preventing myself from procrastinating or playing video games and those sorts of things, just because I've been eating the one meal. And how willpower works is that it starts out the beginning of the day kind of like a battery. It's fully charged whenever you wake up, and then whenever you eat meals it gets filled up a little bit more, so you get more willpower by eating meals. So since I'm just eating one meal later in the day, my willpower is not as full throughout the day, and generally around like 12 or 11, that's whenever I start to get super hungry. So I'm kind of trying to fight that off, and then that drains my willpower. So it makes it harder to not procrastinate or do homework because my willpower is depleted. But with that, and then the cravings, I've been working to try and be much more mindful of them and try and pull my focus from the cravings or the procrastination to whatever I was actually doing, and then just constantly trying to do that until I get through what I'm working on. Especially with the cravings, it's not as difficult just because I have to actually go out of my way to satisfy those cravings. Whereas with the procrastination and playing video games, it's a lot easier to give into those just because doing that doesn't take much effort, and it's easier than doing homework or working on this channel just because it doesn't take much actual thought to do. Another thing that I noticed is that my energy has kind of reverted back to how it was in week one. Although there are some days where I can go the full period up until whenever I'm eating without getting tired. Most of the time I start getting tired around 12 or 1, maybe sometimes 2. And then another thing that I've noticed since the beginning, but I kept on forgetting to include in the videos, is that I've been getting colder throughout the day whenever I'm not eating, at least, especially around 11, 12, or 1 is whenever I start to get a lot colder. And I kind of looked this up. It was just on Reddit, so you can't really take it with too much scientific evidence, but it's because your blood sugar, or my blood sugar, is lowered, so that makes my body temperature lower as well. So if you get into fasting, then it might be something that you experience. And initially, whenever I encountered the cravings and I realized the willpower depletion, I thought that maybe it might just not be for me, or intermittent fasting might just not be for me. But with doing the mindfulness of everything, I feel that I'll be able to improve it much better and prevent myself from giving into those temptations, whatever you want to call them. So I'm also looking forward to whenever it happens during the ketogenic diet. I don't think that the cravings will be as bad because apparently whenever you're on the ketogenic diet, the hunger pangs aren't really as bad just because your body can switch between food and then your fat stores a lot easier. Whereas with everything else, or at least with the paleo diet, you're going from depleting your glycogen stores, which is the carbohydrates, and then having to go and switch over to the ketones, which is what you use whenever you're on the ketogenic diet. So I am looking forward to that, and I think it'll be a lot easier comparatively. But I think my mindset does have a lot to do with being successful in intermittent fasting or eating one meal a day. But that's pretty much all that I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll have an update next week for you. Have a great day.